Ashley, over to you.
Well, Melissa, in a major multi-billion-dollar deal, Teva Pharmaceutical has agreed to buy Allergan's generics unit. It's a deal worth a whopping $45 billion and reinforces Teva's position as one of the world's largest maker of generic drugs. Joining me now is Allergan President and CEO Brent Saunders. Brent, you've had a busy couple of weeks. You just made it into the studio in time. Congratulations on that. Listen, as the story goes on this deal, and I don't know if this is true, so you can tell me, Teva was about to up the hostile bid for Mylan when they get a phone call from you, and you say what?
Actually, that's not how it went.
That's not how it went. You see, you can't believe everything you hear.
Misreporting by one of the news services.
Okay. So you didn't call them?
No, I think in part it was true. I think Erez V. Goodman, their CEO of Teva, was contemplating his next move with Mylan.
Yep.
And decided to call me one last time to see if I was interested in a transaction.
Because you'd already rebuffed them, that's right.
We had already said no once, for good reason.
Okay.
And he came back and said, would you be interested if we were willing to pay something close to $40 billion? And
so
I said,
purely money why you were rebuffed the first time? You didn't think you would get
it wasn't
value.
just money. At the time, the industry was a little different. There's been some consolidation in the buyers of generic pharmaceuticals since the first offer. Also, our circumstances changed. We closed the Allergan transaction. We have a heavier focus on brands as a result.
From activists taking over Allergan.
Right. And so the whole circumstances
So it all
changed.
made sense this time around is what you're saying.
But we didn't, just to be clear and for the record.
You didn't pick up the phone.
We weren't looking to sell the business. We didn't initiate the contact. It was initiated by Teva to us.
But you're obviously very happy with this deal. What do you do with the money?
We are. And so at the end of the day, we will net out perhaps around $36 billion after we pay some taxes.
Okay.
And so, we've been good stewards of capital over the last few years, doing about $150 billion worth of deals over the last year alone. And so I think, we're going to go and look at how do we create long-term sustainable value for our shareholders. So I think we'll continue to do tuck-in deals, right? We'll continue to do some tuck-in deals, and we announced one yesterday as well around depression, a company called Norax. We'll continue to look for things to buy to supplement our pipeline. But we can also now think about transformational M&A, bigger opportunities. Now, we want to maintain our investment-grade rating. We have investment-grade credit. That's important to us. It's strategic to us. But now we have a lot more capacity to think about bigger opportunities.
Is it all about economies of scale? You have to grow, you have to look down the road, and in order to do that, you often have to buy up, much like Pac-Man, all these companies buying up each other because they need to grow in order to survive.
I think that there's a lot to that. I think in our industry, there's been a lot of inefficiency because of the high margins. Yeah. And I think that's going to change. And so what we do, I think that's slightly different in our operating models. We operate with very flat costs, therefore by some of the best margins in our industry. But we also really get as much leverage out of our commercial infrastructure by selling as many products through a therapeutic area as possible, and as much leverage out of our R&D capabilities as we can by bringing as many products through a specific therapeutic area. So we don't try to dabble in lots of different areas. We try to stay very focused in the areas that we're in.
As a consumer, when I see all this consolidation, should I worry that ultimately the cost is going to go up because I have fewer choices?
No, I think, well, it depends on what you're worried about. I think in the drug industry, that's not the case. I think in the drug industry, the pressure is the reverse. The consolidation of the insurers and the payers and the buyers
get a better deal.
Are going to drive pricing down unless you innovate. And so the challenge on us is to not create me-too drugs, but to really leapfrog innovation and come out with breakthrough treatments for therapy. That's how we're going to get paid.
And so you expect all of this M&A just to continue at this pace? I mean, it's quite remarkable and difficult to keep up with.
Yeah, I think when you look at the broad healthcare industry, not just pharmaceuticals, but the broader industry, I think we're in a third inning of a 9-inning game of consolidation.
Long way to go.
And I think there's a long way to go.
Well, congratulations again on this deal, Brent Saunders with Allergan. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're a busy guy. Thanks so much. Melissa.